Alright, I gotta bitch about this because this is something that I've dealt with from both professionals and from amateurs, and I'm really fucking tired of it. I just gotta get this out of the way. Okay, there is a way that you can be polite about suggesting changes or new development work to people who are disabled, right? Who tell you, hey, I have chronic fatigue, I'm always tired, you know, work is going slow on my project because I'm one guy and I'm working on this. And if you have a suggestion for development, right? If you have a suggestion for a new feature or a suggestion for some other approach, right? You have to keep in mind that the person who just told you that they have chronic fatigue has chronic fatigue, okay? Now, comprehend consciously what this means, right? That means that I'm fucking tired all the damn time, right? And so when you go and tell me, hey, you should put in new work in your project, maybe you should have a little bit of consideration for how you communicate this, right? Now, I actually earlier this month was introduced to a new, thing to work on my project, like this new plugin, the voxel plugin, right? Before that, I was building my own terrain generator thing that was clearly inferior, right? And the way that I was introduced to this was I was not told that I should do more fucking work. I was told that, hey, the way you're doing things is actually inferior, and here's how, right? There's a whole voxel generator here, and it works really well, and I've used it a couple times. It's really useful. Here's the documentation, here's the package, here's the project and all this stuff that you can look at the code and you X, Y, and Z, and it's great, right? Don't come to me with some fucking Linux open source library that has, no integration or anything and just rush to me and say, put it in your game. It will make your game better. And if you're gonna do that, at least share a plugin or something that I can look at to understand how it might be better integrated into the software. Because, I'm really tired of these people who clearly have never worked with something, right, like a package or something, and are going around and being assholes to people who may not know how to implement that package or may not have all the details and are doing it on their own time, being unpaid, right? And are tired, chronically tired from a illness. They're fucking making this because, I'm fucking making this accessible not because I want to be a super nice guy. I'm doing it because I'm disabled, and I think that there's a real value in making your user interfaces accessible, right? So I do appreciate the suggestion to implement OpenAL. That's a good idea. But what I don't appreciate is throwing this in my face right after I fucking told you how fucking tired I am. This is a one-man project. And you know what I really don't fucking appreciate? Right? I do not appreciate the fucking pretentious comments like this. Alright? You are free to do all you want, always was, and always will be. It was seen as an accessibility option akin to text-to-speech that you were focused on, and still remember how impairing it was to play the usual games without the options in this sort of sound. Never mind. Okay, first off, you can still play my games with the default, 3D sound positioning, right? You don't actually need OpenAL. It will definitely absolutely improve the positioning, but my games were designed with that in mind in the past. So no, it's not going to be completely inaccessible. It will just be greatly improved, right? And I agree that based on just reviewing, what capabilities it has, yeah, of course it's going to improve the 3D sound positioning sound, right? But the problem is that you didn't give me anything to work with other than a fucking just library, right? You're not even considering what do I have to do for cross-platform support? What platforms are supported with this? I mean, look, I'll admit I don't know everything about every technology, and I'm glad that I learned something new. But I'm also pissed off that you just throw this in my face, and this is so fucking common. Even the gaming fucking professionals seem to act this way, where they seem to think like, oh, well, I heard this fucking thing. Bro, you haven't touched a line of code in 20 years. Shut the fuck up. You're a web developer. Have you ever even integrated NVDA into a piece of software that isn't a fucking website? No? Then shut the fuck up. In fact, NVDA is actually one of the easier ones to do because it just lets you read strings, but you still have to connect the DLL, and that in of itself is frustrating. It's not fun writing these fucking external plugins. So like the very least you can do is like 5 minutes of research to check if it's there, because then you don't piss me off after me immediately telling you I'm a fucking tired person. Like, you know how you feel tired sometimes? I feel tired all the time. Have you ever thought about that? Like, have you ever consciously thought about that? Especially right after someone who fucking tells you that. Right? And it's just frustrating because it's like, it all comes down to this fucking individualist, like, pretentious morality bullshit when it comes to developing this kind of software, which has done nothing but make it harder for end users to use. All I've ever needed was a few people working with me, and I already now have people who are working with me on, you know, a separate project, which is the, I've talked about this previously on my channel. It's that accessibility modularity system. I actually have people working on that now because people saw that and they're like, holy crap, that's a really good idea. And because of that, progress is being made because I'm not the only person having to do this shit. We can work together. It's been 30 years of open source initiatives and we're still individualist, pretentious fucks about the morality of programming? Fuck you, I hate all of you. Where's the love for the machine? Where's the love for, oh, what if we could make this work if we just, like, you know, helped people and worked together instead of just being a fucking useless asshole who all you can do is say, have you considered using... I think the thing that pissed me off the most about this is that after I researched this, they didn't even bother to give me a good implementation. They gave me this fucking shit that's still linked to proprietary crap on Steam. I don't want that. I don't want fucking proprietary shit. The fucking one I found is just this fucking open source, you know, plugin that works directly with it. Why would I use Steam? What the fuck? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something that's totally that I'm just missing here that I'll find out in 3 days and I'll look like a total idiot bitching about this. But at the end of the day, I hope people understand that this stupid bullshit, like if somebody fucking tells you that they're chronically tired and ill, maybe take that into consideration when you go and say, hey, maybe you should add 3-4 fucking days of work onto somebody's project. Jesus fucking Christ. And the thing that pisses me off is that I have to compensate for my disability by just being very organized with how I approach my development so that when I am actually behind a computer working on my development, I'm actually extremely efficient. I get a lot of things done when I'm actually working. But it's only maybe like 3-4 hours a day tops right now because I'm so fucking tired. This is the time of year where I'm basically in bed and dissociating the whole time. Like, Christ almighty. You know, I'm so sick of this fucking discoursing accessibility and you can't even fucking not be ableist to the goddamn disabled developers in your space. You can't just cooperate with them. You can't just work with them. You just have to fucking lecture them about how they're not fucking good enough and they're not listening to you and why they have to suck your cock. No! Work with us! You bitches! And remember, if anyone tells you that, oh, we're on the same side, we should work together. They are not on the same side. They want you to work underneath them, and they want to stay in power. Remember where your power is, and remember where you lie.